If you've ever heard the phrase pirate metal before, then you already know it's a genre of music synonymous with Alestorm. These booze-drenched, wench-hungry musicians have been sailing the sea since 2008, winning over international audiences with their brand of cheeky pirate metal. Today I sit down with creative force, Keytar player, and frontman of the band, Christopher Bose, to discuss life on the high seas. Chris, thanks for meeting with me today.
It's a pleasure.
Welcome to the Banger Hangar.
It's a cozy little room you've got here. It's very nice.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's massive.
Well, it's gigantic.
It's huge. It's massive. It's the magic of the internet.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to talk to you today about music and some silly stuff. You know, I think I'm talking to the right dude then.
I enjoy music and the silly stuff.
Perfect. They're two of my favorite things. Here at Banger, we're super into genres and subgenres and even micro-genres. Ooh. Musically, Alestorm, you got elements of like thrash metal, and there's some folk stuff going on, and there's some pop stuff going on.
Yeah.
Where do you kind of place yourself genre-wise?
I mean, this band has sort of jumped across the world in genres like since we started. Like back in the very original ancient days when we started this band, we wanted to just be a straight-up power metal band, you know. But then we very quickly realized that we're not talented, none of us can sing, and folk metal's kind of fun, and drinking's awesome. So we became a folk metal band. And then there was this sort of occasional forays into, say, like you say, thrash metal with like, you know, oh, let's do that token fast song on the album that just sounds like a, you know, a shitty old Metallica riff, whatever. And recently we've decided it's fun to sell out and write dumb pop music. So, you know, it's a bit of everything. So party, folk, power metal, yeah. That's where we are right now.
Party folk power metal.
Party folk power metal.
We're putting it on the heavy metal tree.
Cool.
Let's talk about the obvious moniker of pirate metal, though. Do you view the pirate metal thing as a standalone genre, and like, does it have any defining characteristics more than singing about plundering booty and drinking rum?
I mean, yeah, it's one of these debates you see people online, like nerds, going, Alestorm's not a pirate metal band. Don't be silly. There's no such genre. And it's like, yeah, there's not really such a thing. But you know, there's, I guess it's like a micro genre, because there are bands who like do what we do. It's like very much that sort of accordion oompa thing with a bit of violins and this sort of yo-ho sort of thing to it. So perhaps there is a pirate metal genre, but then you get pirate metal bands like, you know, Swashbuckle from New Jersey. They're just a death grind sort of thrash band. It's like they have nothing in common with us apart from they say yo-ho in their lyrics. It's definitely a lyrical genre more than anything else.
When it comes to the live show, you guys are known to be quite over the top. You can pretty much command an audience anywhere in the world. For example, I'm very much retired from moshing or doing anything fun at shows. And in 2018 at the 70,000 Tons of Metal, I found myself crowd surfing at your show. It has not happened since, and it had been a million years since it happened before that. How important is it to you to deliver that element of fun show every night, and what goes into making sure that you get everyone off the fucking ground?
Oh, for us, it's the most important thing. Like, we're not on stage to be, you know, paragons of musicianship. You know, we're all right, I guess. We can play our songs. If people aren't having fun, it feels kind of weird. It's like, it doesn't feel right. That's how I judge a show, is like, did the people go off? Was it absolutely a big party? And if it is, that's a good show for us. You know, we play sort of fun, catchy music. It's, you know, there's nothing cerebral about it. We just want people to come along and, you know, have a great time. And it's like, we've had a lot of festivals. We've actually set the festival record for the biggest number of crowd surfers. Copenhagen Festival in Denmark recently last year, we played the second stage, but we had the most crowd surfers they'd ever had. Like, it was seriously non-stop. I think 200 or something over the course of the show. So you kind of feel bad for the people in the front row, but you know, they know what they're getting in for when they come to an Alestorm show and get in the front. They're just gonna have their heads permanently just squished by humans.
Yeah, it's like the rowing and the crowd surfing.
The rowing, that's a cool one. People always get down and they do the rowing to a song. Sometimes they do it to the wrong song. Like, there's nice big slow songs where it's cool to get down and go dun, 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 dun. But then sometimes we're about to play like a super fast one, and then they sit down and they start doing this. It's like, that's just not how you row a ship, but whatever.
No, the ship's not going anywhere. Heavy metal is often viewed as a super serious genre,
yes.
Very serious. And I'm sure you've dealt with fair share of criticisms down that road.
One or two criticisms a day.
Yeah. So prominent in heavy metal for everything to be so serious and dark. And I noticed that there's none of that really with Alestorm. Is it wrong of me to assume that you're very cheeky and don't take yourselves that seriously?
Yeah, exactly. That's completely right. You know, because we're not serious people. We're always having a laugh and shooting the shit. I would find it really difficult to go on stage and put on this sort of persona of being like, I'm some evil, stoic pirate captain. I would find that difficult. You know, every time you meet fans, put on your metal face and like pretend to be someone you're not. I don't like bullshitting people, you know. We are who we are. On stage, off stage, we're the same people.
There's lots of fun bands.
Yeah.
Like, there are a lot of fun bands, but I do find that even the fun bands who do sing about drinking and partying and fun shit, like, really take themselves very fucking seriously.
Yeah. Sometimes people think that, oh, Alestorm, you're just a parody band. You're like taking the piss out of metal. It's like, no, we're not. We're all very much heavy metal fans. We know our shit and we like our shit. We're not here to, you know, make fun of this. We're just doing it well with a lighthearted attitude.
Let's go back to the beginning. It started out as an idea for a straight power metal band. You wrote one song about pirates, and it was that it?
We're like, wouldn't it be cool if we had this band? We just like, you know, we just shredded the gnar all the time. There's like 6 solos and things. So that was the original thing for this band. Like, let's just be the most talented band. And like say, very quickly we realized we weren't that talented. You know, we could twiddle a bit, but that was it. And then I'd like, oh hey guys, I've written this song. It's about pirates. It's one called Heavy Metal Pirates, and it was just this dumb song I'd written because I just liked writing songs about stuff. Like I'd write a song about wizards one day, a song about pirates the next day, a song about, you know, blowing up Hitler with nuclear missiles and stuff. Just whatever, just songs about anything. That was the one that stuck. Was the one about pirates. You know, this band could have gone to weird different places if I'd come to the rehearsal with a different song that day. But pirates is what it became. And then before we knew it, all our songs were about pirates. We played our first gig, and the entire crowd was dressed as pirates, and we're like, okay, we're a pirate band now, I guess. Cool, that's our thing.
Was there ever like a moment with the original lineup, like a pushback moment where your bandmates were like, okay guys, we can't go too deep into this pirate thing, or was everyone on board from the start?
Everyone was just so on board because, like, you know, that first show we did, it was huge. I think they just wanted to be in a band that people liked, so they were cool with whatever, you know.
Being confined to pirate themes, I've heard you say that giving yourself restrictions opens up creativity.
It does.
Yeah, can you elaborate on that and how it directly affects your writing process?
We live in a world where we're oversaturated with everything, and like, especially, you know, and technology is so good that, you know, you can sit down at your computer and you have everything at your disposal. You have, you know, you can make a perfect orchestra. You can make a Gregorian choir sing whenever you want. Press a few buttons and have perfect guitar tracks of everything. It's hard to create when you've got every possibility. You know, you have to set yourself some bounds, some constraints, and then when you work around that, I feel like it's a good nucleus to do something different. I don't want to say shoehorn yourself, but when you give yourself these limits, you force yourself to be creative in other ways.
Most people are always trying to explore creativity thinking outside the box versus I'm getting this idea that perhaps you really do enjoy thinking inside the box.
Yeah, like you build a box, but then you find a weird way to kind of crawl outside it, then back through the other end, you know, that's how you get cool stuff.
I like that. You sing a lot about rum and mead and drinking.
Ahoy.
Ahoy. And I gotta ask, drinking rum on tour is not always the most fun to keep up all night, and puking on the bus is a hard no. So what is the drink of choice for Alestorm on the road?
You know, I used to like rum. I used to think rum was an interesting spirit. After a show, I'd go into the audience. A guy would go, hey, Sixette Alestorm, can I buy you a shot of rum? I'm like, I can't say no now. And this guy is just having the best night of his life. It's like, sure, I'll do a shot of rum with you. And then you turn around and someone else goes, hey Chris, I've also bought you a shot of rum. Like, oh my God. So there have been shows when it's just non-stop people feeding you rum. As you can understand, we got very, very sick of rum very quickly. We've mellowed out a bit. You know, we still like a drink on stage, mostly white wine. White wine. Just too old for all of this nonsense.
Pirates don't age, man.
I do.
Glory Hammer.
Yes.
Bungalingus.
Oh God.
Gaylord Tennis.
What?
Jimmy Fuck Bob and the Shitting Pirates, okay?
Yes.
Clearly your sense of humor is not just reserved for Alestorm.
Clearly someone's looked up my profile on Metal Archives.
You know, I did my due diligence, I always do. Talk to me about the role that humor and comedy and lightheartedness plays in Alestorm.
I've tried to write serious songs. I've tried to sit down like, I'm gonna write a song about my feelings and my emotions and, you know, darkness and misery. Like, I'd love to be like, you know, someone that could write some absolutely crazy cerebral song that's all like, wow, and makes people go, this guy's the future of metal, it's so intelligent. It's like, I can't do it. I sit down and go, these lyrics are dumb. How about I rhyme rum with bum instead? That'd be better. It's but I do like making music, so every time I start a new band, it always ends up stupid.
But it seems like you're the kind of dude that all the bands you're in, you're the primary songwriter.
For the most part, yeah.
And, you know, you seem to be the founder of most of these bands and the creative force. Like, are you the type of person that's constantly cranking out new music and just doing stuff, like you've always have to have creative output?
My problem is I can't sing, but I do sing, but I can't. And I'm not very good at stuff. Like, I can play the keyboards a little bit, I can sing a little bit, I can't play the guitar. I like to surround myself with people who are really good at instruments and just make them do all the cool stuff. And I'll just sit at the back and, you know, pull the strings.
Speaking of instruments, how the hell do you decide to play the Keytar? And would you consider that your primary instrument?
I suppose it is. I suppose I'm a professional Keytar player, which is an odd thing to say. Again, back when this band started, and that whole thing of we wanted to be the most over-the-top, super ludicrous, you know, squiddly band, we thought, wow, nothing would be more over-the-top than having a Keytar. And that became our thing, it's just me on a Keytar. It's like a bit lol, it's the 80s, ha ha ha, you know, that sort of nonsense. I eventually became the singer of the band, and it just became the most perfect thing to have, because you know, if you're singing and playing the keyboard, that's dumb. You're just at the back doing this. You know, you can't front a band like that. So it's the perfect opportunity to sing and, you know, play like a guitar and run around the stage. It's weird how people have just accepted it.
This is what I mean. Watching past interviews you've done and like no one fucking asks you about the Keytar.
It's weird.
It's the weirdest shit ever.
No one. There's like maybe 2 other people who play one. Like I think the guy from Sonata Arctica plays one. And sometimes the keyboard player of Ghost brings it out. It's like, wow, he's got, you know.
Yeah, and they make a huge spectacle
I play it all the freaking time, non-stop,
so
like
true.
for 90 minutes while singing. And it's like, yeah, whatever, that's just Alestorm, that's just what they do. I think everything else we do that's so stupid has just outshined that. It's like, oh yeah, that's the least of your worries, this Keytar. You know, there's an 8-foot duck behind you, you know.
You know you've achieved absolute ridiculousness when the Keytar is the most normal thing in your band.
I know, it's very strange.
Your music videos are over the top. You've got the crazy stage show, the duck you've mentioned. Clearly the visual element of your art is very important to you as well. Do you spend as much time sort of crafting the visual accompaniment as you do the music?
No, we really should. I feel like we could put more effort in. It all just happened accidentally, like most things in this band. That we just have this ridiculously visual show of just brightness and happiness and joy.
Well, with the amount of inflatable ducks you're going through on tour, you're going to have to open your own holdings company to start manufacturing inflatable ducks.
It was getting a bit hairy over the summer because I think we'd bought every single duck that existed. You know, there's not much of a market for 8-foot tall ducks, as you can imagine. So this company, I guess, they'd made like maybe 100 of them, and we'd bought them all, and we'd thrown them all into the crowd and ripped them to shreds. I said, yeah, sorry guys, there's no ducks left. Talked to some random guy in China and said, hey, can you like make us a duck and make it like 9 foot tall and make it look like a pirate? They're like, yeah, whatever, we can do that, here you go. And then they shipped us these ducks. Unfortunately, we did a sort of I want to call it a reverse Spinal Tap. You know, they got that Stonehenge monument, it was really small.
Yeah.
Ours was really big.
Too big?
Too big.
That's awesome.
And the material they made from it's so heavy duty. These things weigh about 30 kilograms. It's a 2-person lift to pick up these ducks.
Oh man.
So the thing is, we can't throw these into the crowd because they're heavy.
Kill someone.
Someone would die. But we have ducks again, thankfully.
Yay, the duck is back. Which scene do you find embraces Alestorm the most? Is it like the European folk metal scene, or?
I guess the folk metal scene is our closest thing, like bands like, you know, Tursas, Fintroll, Ensifer,
Corpor
Clanny. But I feel like we sit on the edge of that. I think we're a bit too stupid for some of them and not heritagey enough, you know.
Like a Ren Fair on stage every night.
We're possibly the only band in the world who has played Vans Warped Tour and also has played a medieval festival in a castle in Germany. It's like somehow we straddle these 2 worlds.
It's interesting that you mentioned Warped Tour because I wanted to ask you about that. Do you think that an ability to win over crowds, like a Warped Tour crowd, but then also play to your standard metal audiences that you do at a festival, is that part of the key to success here with Alestorm? Is that mass appeal?
I think we can appeal to everyone in certain ways. Like for some people, we're the heaviest band they like, and for some people, we're the lightest band they like. So it's kind of cool. We can jump between these worlds and still, you know, keep busy, play shows all the time. We go to the Warped Tour, play a festival in a castle, go to Australia, play some thing, go to Japan, play some other thing, and you all jump across these different scenes. You play with different kinds of bands, and it's cool just being able to do all these different things, like play in different worlds and still do what we do.